Merry Christmas and welcome to day one of my advent calendar, and I'm actually going to be making an advent calendar today. This one's rather special. It can be made for adults as I'm making it because it's full of liqueurs, or for children. So let's get started. You're going to need gift wrap paper, tissue paper, glue sticks, glue gun, candies or treats, ribbons or string, bells or embellishments, toilet rollers, gift wrap holders, numbers from an old calendar. I had most of these things at home, but you can purchase these from the dollar store. This is not an expensive craft to make. You can make this with your kids, you can make this with your grandkids. It's very easy, and as long as you're there to help them, there's only the hot glue that they would need help with. As an adult, I think you always need an adult to do that for them, but it's very easy and I certainly enjoyed making this. Now, I had toilet roll holder and gift wrap holder, and I found the gift wrap holder was a little bit more substantial, so that's what I tended to use. I made my first couple out of the bathroom tissue holder, and they were a little bit lighter weight, a little bit more flimsy, so a couple of mine are a little bit smaller, but the rest were cut out of the gift wrap roll. You want to take whatever gift it is you're putting inside. For me, it's liqueurs and candies, so you want to cut a piece of the roll to fit the candy. So you want the candy to fit inside the piece of roll that you've cut, and you're just making little drums. That's exactly what it's going to look like when you're finished. So you take a piece of tissue paper. You'll need 2 for each little parcel you're making. You're going to cut them the size a little bit bigger than your roll, and then you're going to glue both ends and wrap it, the first end, with your tissue paper. So as you can see here, you are literally making a little drum out of tissue paper. So once that's done, you pop your candy inside to make sure it fits, and do exactly the same for the other end. So as you can see, we have a little drum with tissue paper on each side and a candy in the middle. Now we're going to take a piece of wrapping paper. You can use wrapping paper, you can use more tissue paper, you can use fabric, whatever you want to use. You want to make sure it's just the same size as the circumference of the little drum that you're making. It can be a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, and just a little bit longer. And you're going to cover the outside of the drum with the tissue paper or the wrapping paper. Now I used the hot glue for this just because it was gift wrapping paper, it was a little bit thicker, but you can use the same glue stick if you'd rather. So once that's glued down, you have your drum shape, and with the tissue on both ends and the gift wrap all the way round. Then you take your piece of contrasting ribbon or string or whatever you decide to choose, and what I do is where the join is at the bottom, put a dab of glue and stick the bottom half of your ribbon to that so it holds it in place. Then you're going to tie a little knot to securely hold the ribbon in place. Now at this point I added a little bell. I had little bells. I ended up just using the bells, but I did have other little adornments, whatever you want to do. I had little Christmas trees. You could put a Christmas tree on, you could put holly on, whatever you feel you want to do. So once that's in, you make a loop, and then you've got a hanger, and that's what you're going to hang your first advent calendar candy on your tree. Now I made them in groups of 3s roughly, so I made every 3 a little different. So whether it was changing the tissue paper, changing the paper combinations. So once they're on the tree and they're hanging, they all look a little bit different and a little bit more like decorations. So again, once they're up, they're not all exactly the same. You can make them the same, but it's a matter of choice. So once all 24 are done, what I did was I found an old calendar and I cut out the numbers 1 to 24 and then stuck them to each of the little drums, thus the advent calendar. Now I did have some special little embellishments. They were Victorian Christmas tree ornaments made of paper, so I used a couple of those for day 1 and a couple for day 24, so that they're just to make them a little bit special at the beginning and at the end. So you stick one to each and every drum. Well, how easy was that? So we've got all 24 little drums filled with candy and treats, and they're all going in a little box so that I can take them down and put them on the little Christmas tree and show you the completed advent calendar. So I used a little Christmas tree that I've had for many years. It's the one I've got in the kitchen, and I literally just hung each little parcel all around the tree, and I started with day number 1 at the bottom and day number 24 at the very top. I didn't do it in any particular order, I just put them where they hung.